What's going on? Tom here. And in the last year and a half, I made around 200,000 USD online. And in this video, I'm just going to go through exactly how I use my mind to get here, where I came from, and how I broke all these limited beliefs to get exactly where I am today. So I really want to start off with my story and where I started out. I started out in university studying business. I was in the wrong crowd, doing things here and there. And then I dropped out realizing it probably wasn't the place that's actually going to get me rich. It teaches you how to grow up in the corporate ladder in a business, not creating your own business. And then I went into door-to-door sales. I didn't even know I was going into door-to-door sales. It was a sales and marketing job that I just applied for after leaving college, leaving university. And they said one day, okay, sweet, we're going out. We're going out. Where? It turns out we went out onto the streets of Manchester in the UK to knock on doors and sell charity subscriptions and Wi-Fi, which is pretty crazy. Turns out I was pretty good at it. So I stayed there for about a year, doing about 16-hour days, about 6 days a week, bit less on the sixth day, on the Saturday. And I built up a team of around 19 members, selling for me, training them, coaching them, hiring them, and firing them. Then I got to the point where I realized, okay, I need more leverage. What I did here is I completely stopped that, left my team, and I went into the online high ticket sales space, closing for info product businesses, agencies, got to my first 10K month. Then I got to my first 20K month. After about a year of doing that, I realized, okay, yeah, this is nice. It's short-term money, right? But it's not going to get me to my goals. I want to get to 10 mil net worth pounds by the age of 30. And staying in a high paying job to a certain extent as a freelancer really isn't going to get me there. So I had to take the short term discomfort to get to the long term goals. And I'm definitely not on my goals now, but everything that I've achieved so far is just from taking those delayed gratification decisions. Okay. So I left the high ticket sales space in terms of closing for myself. And then I went into managing sales teams. And essentially, what I do now is I help coaches, consultants build acquisition processes, completely replace themselves in sales, and build a marketing angle that is fresh in the market, allows them to stand out in a competitive market. All right. And the next 4 points are really going to summarize the mindset and the beliefs that I had to get over to be able to make a couple 100,000 online. Right. Number one is messy action and iteration versus perfectionism. When I first started in this space, I was so built up around just getting the perfect product, the perfect content, perfect everything, right? I just didn't take as much action, right? From that perfectionism, from that analysis paralysis, it really stopped me from just taking the relevant action. And what I've learned now is messy action plus iteration from that messy action is the key to building anything, right? If you're getting into a new business, if you're scaling your coaching business in your agency and you're scared to hire or you're scared to post a certain content, I promise you just posting, even if it's not going to be that good, is going to teach you so much more because it did for me, right? Because then you see what's good and what's bad about that action piece, right? You see what you need to improve on. Then the next time you just do better, then you do better, then you do better. In a month's time, you've iterated maybe 10, 20 times versus if you just focus for the whole month on some perfect bit of content or some perfect ads, you're probably not going to get enough feedback loops to really get where you want to go. So that's the first mindset change and mindset block that really allowed me to get to that next level. Just prioritizing messy action. Now, the second one was sell shovels and identify trends. I realize in this market, in any market, right, the winners are the people who hop on trends and sell shovels. You all hear about that tale of the gold rush, right? Everyone was going for the gold, but the people who made them real money is selling shovels. Now, at the moment, what I spotted is everyone is starting an info product or an education business or an agency. I don't really want to sell a course myself, but what I should do is help the people building those businesses scale their business using my sales knowledge from managing teams, from selling myself, closing 1.2 million in high ticket sales in the space of a year when I was a closer. Okay. And identifying that trend, identifying the new trend of the information rush, right? Of not really wanting to go to university, everyone wanting to invest in themselves. Okay. So that's the second one. I chose to sell the shovels and help people dig for the gold. Because usually if the masses are flowing to one end, I've realized that it's probably not going to be the best opportunity in the near future, right? Now, number three was just find a way to fucking figure it out. And I've operated on this fallacy and this sort of mindset and philosophy for a while. Right, even if I don't really know anything, back when I took on my first sales management clients or my first consulting clients, right, some things I didn't really know. I don't really know how to mess with ads. I don't really know how to deal with dialers. Do you know what I mean? My specialty was appointment setters and closers. And then just from finding a way to figure it out, taking on the client, I learned how to manage dialers. I learned how to run ads. I learned all these things. I learned how to build data trackers and CRMs, right? So just consistently iterating, consistently just finding a way to figure it out and having that mindset that I don't really know right now, but I sure am going to fucking figure it out, right? Now, the last one was probably the most pivotal mindset block that I had initially. And that really allowed me to scale where I am and is allowing me to scale to the next level of my company as well. And it's called the law of discomfort. Now, I strongly believe that everything worth something isn't easy. If being a millionaire, if amassing a net worth of 10 million was so easy, then everyone would do it. And then $1 million wouldn't be worth $1 million. It would cost like $1 million to just get a standard house or even a car. Do you know what I mean? The reason these things are so valuable is because it's hard to fucking do. You've got to build so much skill sets. You've got to build so much characteristic traits and get new habits, get rid of old habits. And it's a long iterative process. And you could only do that from facing discomfort. Now, I've been through so much discomfort in the past. I dropped out of university, got kicked out by my parents because of that. I started in door-to-door sales. A lot of my friends thought I was weird for knocking on doors. I even knocked on some of my friends' house and they sort of laughed at me, right? And then when I was in my door-to-door sales clique and I had loads of friends there, I quit that role with a team of 19 because I knew I had to get to that next level. Now, every single time my life has changed pivotally, I think that's a word, it's because I faced discomfort and I've done something that I know I should probably do, but I don't want to do. Another example, I was making 20K a month in high ticket sales and that was great. I was traveling, I was buying my first nice watch, I was doing all these nice things and nothing was bad. You know what I mean? But I just knew deep down, if I wanted to carry on, I have to face the discomfort and eat the shit. Now I was speaking to Paul Daly, Iman Gadzhi's old CEO, some big guy on the internet. And he said, look, you do realize that you want to get to that next level, you need to eat the shit for a bit and just sacrifice your 20K a month income. And it was tough going from something to completely nothing and building that business back up to 7 figures. You know what I mean? But that's what's necessary. And the next stage is moving to Dubai. I'm going to move to Dubai. Well, I'm moving to Dubai in 9 days, setting up a company there and just isolating myself in Cape Town. And the discomfort there is not seeing my girlfriend for a while, not seeing my parents for a while, like not going to any like family events or parties or anything like that. Just being in a season of locking in, really. And to be fair, like that is the main points, the main 4 points that really allow me to scale where I'm at. And I'm more than sure is going to allow me to scale where I want to go. Now, little plug at the end, if anyone needs help with building acquisition systems, placing appointment setters, closers, and really scaling their coaching business or agency past 50K a month, then either just pop me a message on Instagram or just book in a call below and we'll see if we can help. Hope this helped and have a good one.